Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Chairperson. So I'll try to take you through what are the basic experiences of training, because we know that training for health providers, for specifically for HPV vaccination and communication activities are the backbone for the immunization program. So I'll go through this to this. So these are the outlines. We'll try to look up the background, major introduction activities during HPV vaccination, training and supportive supervision as well, and the demand profession, and why communication is needed during the immunization programs, and the expectations from the key stakeholders. So as a background, specifically in the context of Ethiopia, HPV demonstration project was done between 2015 to 2017 in Ethiopia, and then it was the target was both grade-based and age-based. So it was for grade 4 in school, and then 10-year-old girls out of school. So the demo site we took it in 2 districts. We call it Waradas, in 2 different regions, Oromia and Tigray. Then after completion of the demo, PI was done, coverage survey was done, and cost analysis was done, and nationally the HPV program in Ethiopia was rolled out in 2018. So the major pre-introduction activities, it is specific actually for Ethiopia, but next we'll come through that. So bottom-up micro plan was developed and verified with the central data. Single age in school and out of school data was obtained from the Ministry of Education. Micro plan verification was made using different data sources, including official data from Central Statistics Agency, recent Ministry of Education reports, and even projections from the 2014 cohort. Okay, so that was the way that we managed to align the micro plans for the HPV program. Training manuals, guidelines, IC materials, and recording and reporting materials were developed, and even they were translated to 4 to 5 big local languages. National level it was conducted, and then it was cascaded down. When we are doing this, it was not only the health professionals, but at the ground level, school principals, directors were involved, and even a full one-day orientation was given to the mobilizers. So at the sub-national level, everything was done, and then we took around 100 waradas were randomly selected for the readiness assessment. We did a very nice, very structured and comprehensive readiness assessment tool. Then sub-national RAT was done, and it was taken through by ODK, and introduction date was guided based on the readiness assessment tool. So training and supportive supervision, national TOT was conducted, and then TOR for integrating activities, because specifically after the COVID, before the COVID, we do it twice in a year, but after the COVID, it was once in a year. So we are going to implement 2 cohorts at a time, for the first and for the second HPV. So TOR was developed, a sort of TOR, okay, that guides how to differentiate, how to manage their data at the lower level. Then virtual training, subsequent virtual training were done at all levels actually. Then in areas where connectivity is very poor, partner mapping was done, and then very close supportive supervision and on-site monitoring was done, and with centrally we tried to map our partners, and then all technical assistants which are hired for different disciplines were repurposed for that specific week to support the HPV vaccination. So the communication activities, baseline formative assessment was done by Garlifek, Dr. Fiorares. So it was done to assess the perception of the cervical cancer from the community. Assessment of adolescents, interventions with HP for possible integration was done. Community strategic plan was designed. Advocacy was conducted to key stakeholders. Sensitization workshops were done with different stakeholders, including Ministry of Education, Women Affairs, government and private media professionals, and even people with disability. And then national crisis communication was also developed. So after saying that, so what are, sorry. Yeah. So what's communication? You know, I think all of us know that the communication is very important. So we do it in advocacy, social mobilization, and program commission. We all know these things, but how do we move to improve this activity, specifically with regards to the HPV vaccination? So advocacy is a very critical step that we need to do for immunization programs, specifically when we are doing the HPV vaccination. It's very critical. So by advocating, so one thing is we can change the position of the leaders. You know, as we have heard today and yesterday, in some areas there are some hesitancies by the important or by the key political decision makers, you know, at the subnational level. So by doing advocacy, we can change the position, okay? And then we can raise resources, okay? And then so what are the targets for the HPV advocacy? So the targets that we used for the HPV advocacy are it's already displayed in. So I think my eyeglass is not working good, so I can hear from here, okay? The government sectors, including education centers, the parliamentarians, okay, development partners and donors, including the local CSOs, the civil societies, professional associates, universities, you know, media officials, academias, private sectors, and leaders at the community level. We need to do advocacy for this. So with regards to the social mobilization, we have a very good community platform in Ethiopia. We have a health development army, so that's the basic community platform, and it's 1 to 30, okay, and then it will be 1 to 5 families. So it's a good platform to disseminate information. The traditional and communication challenge, okay, like we call it DAGU, you know, specifically in the pastoral communities, especially in Afar region, we have DAGU. Okay, this is one platform to disseminate communication. We have IDIR. Then we can use also the local TV and radios. With regards to the program communication, strengthen interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication it's a very key and important point, you know, for the immunization. Then face-to-face communication helps us to build trust and confidence for girls, parents and teachers, and inform key messages. Why communication is important for the HPV introduction? One thing, HPV vaccine is new. Unlike to that of the routine immunization programs, this program is new for girls, and it provides information with stratified communication methods for adolescents. Need to convince or answer people questions, okay? So communication is very crucial. It overcomes rumors, as it has been said in the last presentation. Since it's a new vaccine, I think by doing communication, we can overcome rumors. Gain and maintain the support of stakeholders. Okay, positive behavior and social changes. We can bring positive behavior and social changes. We can raise awareness, and then we can raise resources. Okay, So communication is very important with regards to immunization program. The stakeholders, I think you can see from the picture, this is our minister, her Excellency Minister Dr. Leah. So they can exercise considerable social and political influence. They have established network people and organizations and physical infrastructures, okay? So stakeholders are very crucial, okay? As you can see from the picture, there are different partners during the launching of the HPV vaccination. Communication principles, it has to be simple. It has been said in the previous. So our communication has to be very simple and clear. We have to balance the news and the bad news and the good news, like between the cervical cancer and the HPV vaccine. We have to encourage conversations. It should not be a one-way communication. So we have to focus on safety and effectiveness of the HPV vaccine. So with regards to the expectation from the political administrators and leaders, so the political administrators, so we are expecting them to advocate and promote for the HPV vaccination, to mobilize and allocate resources, mobilize all eligible girls, so they can give information for the community using their powers and the structure, and even they can help us to manage the rumors. When we are engaging the religious leaders, they can advocate and promote HPV vaccination. They speak in churches and in mosques, so they will educate the community during the time where they get contact with the community, and they can even mobilize parents and guardians. The education centers, it has been also discussed. So provide information on cervical cancer, okay, by engaging the education sectors. So they will provide the girls on cervical cancer prevention and HPV vaccination. They support vaccination programs in the schools. They work with health workers, and they mobilize eligible girls from in the school. They talk frequently with the girls, because it's not the health workers that's very close to the girls at the school. So they can convince them. They can organize meetings with the parent teacher associations, okay, and they can arrange appointments for next vaccination. The teachers, it's already designed. They will listen and address, they educate girls. Specifically, they will give us access to use information in school medias and sport programs, and organize on immunization sessions, and they can facilitate joint micro planning.